Taher Badshah. 4 experts, 2 are saying they'll buy the fall, 2 are saying they will not buy the fall. Since you're the 5th one, it's like a 5-seater Wimbledon match, 2-all. Call your take.
Well, I think typically, I mean, the behavior in these kind of things is obviously to buy the fall. I mean, we know that these are extraordinary events. In these kind of things, it is always a little difficult to call in the short run. We know that we have to just give it time. Time is the only thing that we have to kind of bank upon. We have to live in the belief that even if near-term things do get worse, they will eventually get better. So I think ultimately our job as investment specialists is to basically buy value, and if value is available in the street as a result of this reason, then I think we have to act. So I think we would obviously use this opportunity to buy, and at least whatever makes sense. I don't really think we are at one level discriminating anything in the market at this stage for one over the other. There's an extraordinary event which will lead to an impact on everything. So I don't really think we can hide behind anything at this stage. So whatever makes sense, I think one should be buying. I would be positive at this stage of the market.
Taher, the question is that day after day we're waking up to a lot more uncertainty with what's happening with the coronavirus, which is why we're seeing this sort of a panic sell-off take place day after day. The question is, will there be more downside for the Indian markets, or do you think that it's largely a sentimental or a more psychological factor? And then, how would it really be prudent to buy into the dip, given the fact that day after day we are seeing gashes and one doesn't know when it's going to stop?
So like as I said, in these kind of things, it is always very difficult to predict anything in the very near run. We have to just give it time. This is, this is something which is beyond anybody's control. But I would like to think that some of the reactions over the last few days emanating out of many markets where there have been few cases seems to be pretty, brutal. I don't really think the nature of the fall had to be of this magnitude, but nonetheless, I mean, there is a situation of panic today in the market. So that is something that we can't avoid. I think hopefully India should hold up. We thankfully, as a country, we are relatively better placed with regard to the virus, as well as probably from an economic standpoint. I think we still, our base case appears to be that we would look forward to to better economic conditions over the next 12 to 24 months time compared to what we have seen in the prior 12 to 24 months. So we will continue to remain. See, we have to also understand that if at all we see any positive developments with regard to the virus, the snapback also could be equally fast. Generally these kind of things in hindsight always appear to be good opportunities.
Give us a sense then, Taher, as to how you're looking at, the FII flows. Compared to what we've seen, the FII flows have remained steady. But at a time like this, given the kind of risk-off environment, is there now a worry that we could see the flows, some sort of a massive pullout or flows drying up now?
It could happen. I mean, there have been bouts of FII inflows and outflows over the last 4 to 6 quarters for one reason or the other, starting almost early 2019. We've seen it on account of February 2019, then followed by the budget, and then after the budget, and then more recently US-Iran, and now because of the virus also probably there could be those kind of movements, because foreign flows into different kinds of markets, particularly emerging markets, etc., are dependent on how the risk aversion levels are globally. So I wouldn't be surprised if it were to happen. But the good part, which we've also been seeing over the last some time, is that domestic flows have been reasonably supportive, and over a period of, if I were to probably look at this whole FII picture over the last 5 years, 7 years, 10 years, increasingly as our mutual fund industry, domestic fund industry is maturing, the volatility caused on account of FII flows or outflows and inflows is relatively lesser in degree compared to what it used to be in the past.
Taher, we'll leave it there this morning. Thank you so much for joining us and taking us through your view on the fall that we're seeing currently.